Hello everyone, and welcome to the second ever episode of ST's Rants. If you cannot tell by the avatar and the voice that I'm currently doing, this one's going to be mainly based around Helluva Boss. Well, or if you read the title, or anything else. Yeah. So, just a couple of things first. One, this world was made by... Definitely not me. Bloomin'? Would that be right? Yep. Bloomin'. This world was made by Bloomin', and this avatar was made by Fiasco Fox, if I do remember that correctly. And indeed, I do. Fiasco Fox. And one other little thing. Thank you guys so much for the recent support with the channel. Swear when I made the first ST's Rant, I forget exactly how many views and subscribers I had, like the views for the same line, different context video had, I think it was like 43,000 at the time, and that has pretty much quadrupled since then. My subscribers have gotten up to 214 as of the last time I checked. And even just a VOD that I released like 2 days ago for Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion has already gotten 60 views, and I'm more than ecstatic. Thank you guys so much for the support. Honestly, I make these videos for fun. I've never been a numbers person. I'm just happy that people are seeing and liking what I do. So, I am very thankful for that fact. Thank you guys so much. So, main theme, Helluva Boss. So, my favorite show of all time. Before I even started watching Helluva Boss, I'd say my favorite, which I hadn't watched many shows before then. My favorite was probably Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things still. I can't wait for the next season and last season, season 5, I do believe. That's gonna be great. But even my favorite character from my favorite movie of all time, Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas, got completely overshadowed. Not completely, but I mean, like, very taken over when I first watched Helluva Boss. Maybe not fully yet. It may have taken a little bit of time after I first watched it, but it still happened. So, Jack Skellington had been my favorite character in all of media for as long as I can remember. According to my mom, I watched that movie for the first time when I was a toddler or an infant, somewhere around that age. I don't remember what she said. But Jack had been my favorite character for the longest time. And this was reflected with everything. My clothes, the stuff I have around in my room. Hell, my first PFP for this channel was Jack's head, slightly tilted, him smiling, and it being purple. It was Jack Skellington. And if you look at it now, it's a frame from season 2, episode 4 of Helluva Boss, of Stolas when he's jumping around and dodging these bullets coming from Striker. He jumps, but of course before he jumps you have to have squash and then stretch. So you have to squash, just made him look like a little demon bird, and I edited it to look purple. So purple stays, obviously, for ST Purple Skull, but that's besides the point. That's just to show this show kind of took over my main interest. So I feel like it's been long enough. because I kind of want to start from the beginning of the story, and it... I swear. Actually, okay. The real beginning, though. The beginning I was just talking about is not the real beginning. So the real beginning of my interest with this show starts ages ago with this little person named Matt Pant. Good old film theory. Very specifically film theory. Because he made an episode about Hazbin Hotel on how possible would it be to rehabilitate enough sinners to actually get rid of the overpopulation and hell problem. Right? He made an episode about that. At the very end of that video, he mentioned this little show called Helluva Boss, right? And he was saying, like, we have this kind of, like, antagonistic to the goals of the Hazbin Hotel, and that could possibly make it even worse for Charlie and her goals. This is back when Stolas had the, more villain kind of role of wanting people to be down in hell, right? I would do the quote, but my brain is blanking at the moment, because it is 3 a.m. my time, as I'm recording this, as you might have noticed, but, hold on. Political candidate up on Earth causing troubles for samurai associates. Wait, more people die if nothing is done about it, and it gets lonely here. Like, he wanted people to die back then. Like, it wasn't like today's Stolas, where he can really give a crap about humanity. As of right now in the show, we are currently at season 2, episode 10. Yes, 10. Yes. Ghost Fuckers, and next episode comes out on the 30th, which is about 6 days from now. So that's where we're at. Mastermind has not happened yet. And when it does happen, oh shit. That's gonna be a great episode. But, I have a mirror set up here, if you can't tell from the hand here. Where was I? Oh yes, talking about Mabat. So the seeds were planted ages before I ever actually started watching the show. Like, this was back, like, there was only the Hazbin Hotel pilot, and the only clips that he showed in that video went up to season 2, episode 2. Not season 2, episode 2. Season 1, episode 2 of Helluva. So this was way, way ago. Fast forward to, I almost want to say last year sometime. It was probably last year sometime. I'm just chilling in the kitchen, making some food. My sibling is on the table talking to my father, talking about some episode of some show, describing it the worst way I have ever heard anyone describe it, because I swear to God, all I heard from them describing it was dildos all over the walls. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you yapping about? And then they showed me what they were yapping about. I was like, oh, I remember this! I remember this. So, we watched the entire thing, binged it, and then we got back up to that episode, which I then learned was season 2, episode 3, which I can't not remember, oh shit, for the life of me, if that was, let me see if I can actually lock the mirror while I'm thinking, but I could not, I can't remember for the life of me if that was a, I don't think I can, but, if that the next episode was season 2, episode 4, or if the next episode was actually season 1, episode 8, because if you do not know, season 1, episode 8 came later than it really should have. So it was delayed. I can't remember if it was season 2, episode 3, season 1, episode 8, then season 2, episode 4. or if it was something like that. But either way, I've gotten into the show at this point. So I'm into it now. And throughout the first watch through, I really liked it. It was a funny show. Sex jokes, of course. I'm kind of I'm arrow-ace. I don't know why I said kind of. So some of the jokes do end up flying over my head, but I get most of the jokes. I get the majority. But I just really like the show. The characters were neat, especially one in particular, but I'll get more on him later. But something clicked. And I finally got a show that I was actively wanting to watch. Like, every new episode for. And so I did. I'll talk about my thoughts on every episode later, but I just want to get through this, like, basic baseline. And then explain this. So, and just for anyone not wanting the video, I'm pointing at my avatar, which is Stolas. So, so the first episode, I'm just gonna say that Season 2, Episode 4 was the first episode I was able to watch as a first-time viewer. I could fact-check myself real quick, but I don't want to derail part of the video for that. So, I'm just gonna... actually, now that I think about it, it might have been Season 1, Episode 8. That was my first new one. But, it was one of the two. It was one of the two. But, just for sake, if it was Season 1, Episode 8, it was fine. Season 1, Episode 8 is fine. Beelzebub gave me immediate, like, trap, like, kind of, like, a mousetrap kind of vibes, like, reel you in and then be a trap. She wasn't a trap at all, but, like, especially the, make me that motherfucking honey line, like, that line, that really took me off to being like, this doesn't seem right. She's fine. It's fine. But, Season 2, Episode 4. Oh, I don't want to get too in-depth, but it's what made me love Stolas. Just... like, the thing that cemented it. Like, obviously things like, fucking... You Will Be Okay, Season 2, Episode 1, those really got me into liking the character. Season 2, Episode 4 made me love Stolas. He was the first character, really, to be able to get me to consistently have chills run down my spine and actually make me almost really sad for a character's death in the media. Because the closest I had gotten to that was one very specific scene from the ending of Season 4 of Stranger Things. I'm just gonna say spoiler warning, but it's been out for a while. At the end of that season, a character new to that season named Eddie dies. That didn't make me cry immediately, but Dustin, I believe his name was, one of the main characters, had to go up to Eddie's dad and explain the fact that Eddie was dead. Or say sorry about that, I forget. That got me almost to tears. But the absolute chill that ran down my spine when you see Stolas' tail wave past the screen while he's on the stretcher. You hear Blitz say, "Stolas can get hurt?" That scene. It ran chills down my spine immediately, because that's still every time. Like, literally just think about it. Chills are running down my back. It's just... this character that you, like, even Blitz thought was like in season 1, episode 6, season 1, episode 5. Yeah, it's season 1, episode 5. Like, you learn the fact that Stolas can get hurt. But you don't see it. It doesn't happen. And then just for Stolas to be on the brink of death, 1 second away from being absolutely murdered, and seeing his almost lifeless body on that stretcher. It's absolutely like one of the things that make me love Stolas so much. He's not perfect. He's not a perfect character. He's not... well, not perfect character, but I mean like a perfect person. He has his flaws. He has those struggles. He's not immortal. He's not amazing socially. He fucks up. As any good character should. That's... and I have like a deep kind of relatability to him. In the way... not so much nowadays, but for a long time I thought I couldn't do anything right for anyone. That I can't do anything right. Everything I do fucks everything up. Stolas feels the same way. No matter what he does for Blitz, Blitz doesn't give him the same affection. No matter what he does for Via, Via is still an edgy teenager. Stella, he tried his best to have a family with Stella, but she denied him. Every single person that he interacts with, he tries his best and fails. But I relate in that kind of way, and it's... give me a second to think. I've always been bad at explaining why I like the things I like. But so a long time ago, I'm just gonna make a roundabout point here, because again, this is ST's Rants. This doesn't have to be structured at all. I can go off on any kind of tangent I want. So I'm going to do that. But a while ago, I posted a video that I'll probably remake at some point, where I sang Stolas's "You Will Be Okay." Hell, fuck it. Before I actually end this video, I'm actually gonna sing it. And then just edit a little clip of it, and then go from there. But, I sang Stolas's "You Will Be Okay." I've gotten much better at singing since then, but that... from then on, within the group I'm in, Val Raven's Creation Hub, I've kind of been the Stolas. I am the Stolas of the group. Singing-wise, I've been the person that, like, if someone wants to hear a Stolas song, they kind of get on me. I've been working on the Stolas songs. They are my pride and joy when it comes to my singing abilities. But sometimes we have singing lessons on here. Like, yesterday was supposed to be a singing lesson day, but it got cancelled because Val, the person that owns Val Raven's Creation Hub, as you do soon, had to go to a singing event for himself. But we were talking about like how emotion ties into songs, and he asked me, because I was talking about "Look My Way," because he asked for like a song that you like a lot. And I went first for the questions about it, and I said, "Look My Way" is my song. And he was just like, "How do you relate? How do you relate this song?" And I was just like, "I don't know." And he was like, alright. Or like, "Why do you like this song?" And I was just like, "I just really like Stolas as a character, and I kind of see his struggle." And he was like, "Okay, Let's try and go a bit more deeper here. He was like, why do you like Stolas? How do you relate to Stolas? And, you want to know what my answer was? It was, I don't know. I don't know. And I didn't know until later that night when I was trying to get to bed. Because, again, like what I mentioned at the beginning of last episode of this, I rant to myself so much so that it kind of hinders my sleep schedule. Me being awake at 3 AM doesn't help anything, but anytime I try to go to bed, I end up ranting to myself. And that question was fuel to the fire. Like, why do I like Stolas so much? At first, my kind of answer wasn't even about him as a character, and it was more like his design. I've always liked taller summer characters, monocolored eyes. But I started to really think about his character. And the more I realized I related to Stolas, the more... Like, I made a big revelation that night, and I couldn't even tell you what it is now, but I almost burst into tears thinking about it. But that thing of, I can't do anything right for anyone, that was a big part of it for me. And I relate so much to that. So, kind of branching off from my love of Stolas, I've made my saying random things a Stolas video. I'm doing my Stolas impression right now as we speak. And again, I said I'm the Stolas of Valraven's creation hub. So, obviously I do Stolas impression. Now that kind of really started was this was my first real main Stolas avatar, and I would use it a lot. But back then, I wouldn't really do the Stolas impression. Until one day, I don't know why, but someone just randomly said, "You kinda sound like Stolas." I don't even know if I was doing, like, my child British or just normal British voice for it, but someone's just like, "You kinda sound like Stolas." Like, huh. Thank you, I think. Like, this is my normal voice. I don't see it as being close to Stolas at all. Cause, like, the amount that I have to change my voice from this to being, like, more like this, darling, it's a big jump, honestly. But, I was kind of flattered. I took that, and I worked on it. I improved. I went from just kind of sounding like Stolas to being able to do, to what a lot of people have said, the best Stolas impression they've heard. Which again, I am absolutely flattered. I worked on that a lot, so much so that I can make Sims crumble at my feet. Just from a single line. A line that was in my Stolas quote, like, saying random things as Stolas. The, quote of, "If your performance on stage is half as good as it is in bed, you'll leave them breathless." Just doing that line makes any Stolas Sim fall to the floor. It's funny. But, that's beyond the point. Like, I worked on that impression. So not only... And this was before I ever got asked the question of why I like Stolas. So, not only do I connect with him on a more personal kind of bond, I also connect with him because I roleplay the character. I put myself into his shoes to put out the best version of him that I can. When I'm here, there was a long time with my Stolas impression where anytime I was on VR, I couldn't use my normal voice. Not out of choice. It was never like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in the Stolas. There was a long time where I, for the life of me, could not get out of my Stolas impression. Like, even if I were to try and get out of it now, I've been in it for the last like 2 hours. I probably couldn't get out of it. And like back then, it was like 5 minutes even. Now I have days where I struggle to actually get into the voice if I'm not trying to. Like sometimes I'll just be casually and I want to get into Stolas' voice, but I just can't. But right now I can, obviously. But it's just I've gotten to the point where I own the VR chat group Stolas VAs. The Stolas VAs VR chat group, because there wasn't a Stolas voice acting group. It didn't exist. There were Stolas groups, not for voice acting. I've gotten to the point where I feel qualified to run that group. Like, I have gotten... Like, I knocked down my ego on purpose. I purposefully knocked down my ego, because I don't like my ego getting in my head, because the way I see things is you can always improve, and I don't want that same ego to get in my head, making me think that, oh, okay, I'm good, I don't need to improve. That's why my Stolas voice is as good as it is. But I got this compliment. I was playing Murder 4, or Blackout, I don't even know. It wasn't even technically a compliment. I got asked if I was the actual Stolas voice actor. Not just because I had this Stolas VAs above my head. I don't even know if they actually noticed that. My voice. They genuinely thought for a moment that I was Bryce Pinkham. Which I am absolutely flattered by. That's probably the best compliment I will ever get. In terms of my Stolas impression. Like, that genuinely warmed my heart so much. Just... Yeah. So, like, I'm mentally related to Stolas. I physically relate to Stolas. Like, in terms of my voice. Kind of in physique as well. I'm skinny. I'm taller than average. So I kind of relate physically in terms of my body as well. But, and in recent episodes, I've kind of related to him even more. Specifically with Apology Tour. Because in Apology Tour, of course, he goes to the, Fuck Blitzer party. And something he does, as soon as he gets there, he grabs himself a drink, and he finds the nearest wall, and leans up against it. So not only do I relate to him on the mental state, the voice of him, the physique, he's introverted. I'm introverted. I do that same thing. I will maybe grab myself a drink, maybe grab myself a snack at any, like, event. I will find the nearest wall where it's not already being occupied, and I will lean up against it. Because I don't want to socialize with people. The moment that someone does, I'm awkward. Remember that we're also going to interact with Stolas. It was awkward. I relate to Stolas heavily. Very deeply. And it's the reason why I love the character so much. Because, like I said, Jack Skellington was my favorite character for a long time. Big long time. I don't relate to him even a fifth of how much I relate to Stolas. Not at all. And just off the fact that Stolas made my... Like, I mentioned the fact that Stolas is the one character that can consistently run chills down my spine. Jack never did. Once. Anytime I'm watching the show and I hear Owl in a cage, you will be okay. I see any scene where he gets his heart broken or he gets physically hurt, I get chills running down my spine. And even though I know in the future he will probably be threatened again. And I know that Pop said that Stolas is not going to be killed. He has plot armor. That will not make those scenes any less gut-wrenching for me. Because again, I've seen Stolas on the brink of death. All it would have taken was Stella not calling Stryker last second to call off the hit. Stolas would be dead. Stolas would be long dead. Season 2, Episode 4. Stolas would be dead. My favorite character of all time would be dead. That quickly. And it's just... no character would make me really feel sad about that. Except Stolas. If Stolas were to die next episode, I would actually be really sad for a while. Because again, I love Stolas. Stolas is my comfort character. I see myself in him. Again, it's a lot less so now with the whole feeling like I can't do anything right with anyone, but the introvertedness of him is still there. The kind of want to do right for those I love is still there. And I can't shake that. And that's not even really mentioning his relationship with Blitz and how it is now. Cause, to be completely honest, his relationship in Season 1 wasn't good. Because I said that this character had flaws. I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, oh, Stolas is the best character. He has his flaws. Not just in the character himself, but also the way he was written. Season 1, his relationship with Blitz was straight up toxic. At least until episode 7. Because episode 1 to episode 6, you have Stolas seeing Blitz more as a item, and not really as a love person to want in a relationship. You see that. Even up to episode 6, right before Aussies, you have, who dare threaten my impish little plaything? It's honestly, I wish I wish they could go back and rework those first episodes, because I know now. Because I feel like Aussies was like a more last-second change for Stolas. I wish they could go back and fix the first 6 episodes and make it more of a build-up to Stolas really truly loving it. Because until you see Stolas get heart eyes from, and like you get him getting so giddy from Blitz asking him the Aussies, it's more of Stolas just wants Blitz to fuck him than actually be in a relationship. But then season 2, that, if I were to label the first 2 seasons, like give them a title, season 1 would be IMP. Season 1, pretty much every episode is about the IMP gang and its shenanigans. Like, pretty much every single one is some kind of hit or consequences of a hit that they had. Season 2, Stolas, which is the ship name for Stolas and Blitz. That is pretty much what the entire season has been. except for like 3 episodes, plus the last one. Like, it's been a big shift for Stolas and his character in terms of how he likes. Like, this season, great. Their relationship is going very downhill, but it needs to go downhill for it to have a rise. Season 1, it was only bad. Because there wasn't a real relationship there. There wasn't. It's a very bad situationship, if anything. But it's getting improved on. And again, like I said, a character needs their flaws to be a good character. That's like the one thing I don't really like about Charlie, Morningstar, as the main character has been. She's meant to be the embodiment of 7 heavenly virtues, but that makes it to where she doesn't really have much in the way of flaws, other than her being like overly apologetic, stuff like that. And that's not really enough for me to see a character as having struggles. Stolas, again, has the feeling of never doing right for people. Having at least Stella being an absolute bitch to him. He has trials and tribulations that go against him. I kind of went from like his writing being bad to like things that just go against him as a character, but that's okay. Again, I'm ranting here. But this, yeah, I love this show so much, and I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. Ghostfuckers was great. Mastermind, it's gonna be right. Finally get to see a lot of the sins. Belphegor, Satan, Leviathan. Hold on, let me actually make sure that I'm not missing. Belphegor, Satan, Leviathan. Well, hold on, actually. So we have seen fucking Ozzy, Mammon, Beelzebub. So we need... Oh, and Lucifer. There we go, that's what I was forgetting. Lucifer, because Lucifer is a sin, because he is the sin of pride. There we go, because then we need to see Satan, Leviathan, and Belphegor. There we go. Okay, that's it. Yes, which is sloth, envy, and wrath. Sloth, envy, wrath. Yes. Yes. So that's gonna be a good episode. I'm just gonna go through, kind of talk about like my opinions on each episode real quick. Season 1, episode 1. Good starter. Nice little mission. Good, nice little intakes. The murder family. Good. Season 2, episode 1. Wrong order. Season 1, episode 2. Good. Stolas introductory. Real introductory. Kind of shows the way that Ria kind of feels neglected. Again, just, you will be okay. Amazing. Ending of the episode. Like, actually, I have a tiny little point to go here. This episode was the first... No, let me narrow that down. You'll Be Okay was the first sequence in all of Helluva Boss to make people realize, oh shit, this show isn't just gonna be about murder and sex jokes. This show's gonna have some actual deep shit. Cause You Will Be Okay, that song would never be in any show that's just meant to be sex jokes and murder. That song would never be in something like, let's say, Rick and Morty, Family Guy. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But, I mean, that kind of a song would never be in something like that. Yet it's here. It really planted the seeds for what would be to come in Season 2. I love season 2, episode 1. It's great. I just said season 2, episode 1 again. Season 1, episode 2. You can tell that I'm tired. So, season 1, episode 3, which would be Cherubs Ferocica. I'm Arrowways. I feel uncomfy with her singing bit. Tex is great. Luna's great in this episode. Moving on. Episode 4, Cherubs. One little thing I find with the Cherubs, which could be foreshadowing for later this season in Sinmas, when the Santa Claus theme comes up, if you listen to the background music, it has the same motif as Stolas' theme. The just change a bit to seem more Christmassy. It could just be because they didn't want to write a new background song for it, or it could be foreshadowing for something happening in Sinmas. I don't know. Just a quick yawn. Sorry for that. But other than that, good episode. Cherubs. Funny. I like Loopty Goopty. I like them. He's cool. Moving on. Episode 5, Good Old Striker. Good episode. Stolas is in it. Bias immediately, but first time we learn about the holy weapons, which again is cool that Carmilla. Why did I say again? But it's cool that Carmilla was referenced before her name was really even dropped, and has been. It's cool. Kind of showed the fact that they were thinking of having it in the works, even back then. So that's good. Yeah. Love Mox in that episode. Alright, moving on. Truth Seekers! Probably one of my favorite animations in the series. Truth Seekers looks great. Plot's pretty good. Agent 1 and 2, I swear to God, they are Jesse and James. Yeah, I did say quick thoughts for a reason, because, yeah, don't want to be here all night. But, they are Jesse and James, you can't convince me otherwise. Aussies! Season 1, episode 7. Aussie and Fizz are hypocrites. They are hypocrites. But seeing Stolas like genuinely happy for even just a moment, like that was great. Like genuine happiness, not even horniness, just actually being happy. Love that. I'm curious what the fuck his kind of relationship with Millie and Mox are. Oz being able to see our first Deadly Sin was cool. And yeah, and then immediately afterwards, in the timeline at least. Oh, not even immediately afterwards. This is like same night in the timeline. Luna goes to a party at Beelzebub's. Good old season 1, episode 8. It's fine episode. Again, Beelzebub kind of ticked me off, making me think like she was gonna be like a trap. She wasn't. She was fine, but it's a fine episode. Now we get to my, honestly, even with all the newer episodes, favorite in the series, season 2, episode 1, the Stolas episode. Very biased. Paimon, asshole. Cashback asshole. But beyond that, Stolas is great in this one, and it kind of just shows like that kind of love for Blitz wasn't always just a sex thing, because when Stolas actually first sees him, there's a heart in the background, everything slows down, he's blurry, like he does a cliche. Like Stolas, and Blitz was Stolas' first ever friend. And then at the end of the episode, you have not only Owl in the Cage, but probably the most badass fucking scene that we will probably see from Stolas in a bit. Like, him having demon form in season 1, episode 6 was cool. But him catching Stella's backhand in the argument, oh, absolutely amazing. Season 2, Episode 1 is one that I will absolutely continue to go back and watch, even if I don't watch any of the other episodes around it. Season 2, Episode 2. Great. That's where the Stolas quote I did earlier came from. Great episode. Via, having a mostly Via-centered episode is great. She kind of needs that. Oh yeah, she's gonna be having a song sometime this season, or at least it looks like it from the trailer. So, future me is gonna be having a good time listening to that. But great episode. Moving on, season 2, episode 3, X's and O's, Chaz. I'm kind of glad that he was dead. I think he was too much for me, honestly. But Mox and Mill episode, mainly Mox, of course. But good episode, very good episode. Once again, daddy issues. That is fine, in my opinion. Season 2, episode 4. Need I talk more about season 2, episode 4? Again, it's what made me really love Stolas. It's great episode. Get to see more of Raffring. You really learn that Stolas can get hurt. And one little detail I do want to mention. The meeting with Ozzy that Stolas has is 3 days, I think, after he ends up getting hospitalized. 3 days. Stolas cared so much about Blitz and him having his own kind of like being able to make his own decisions that he went to meet Ozzy 3 days later, which is absolutely crazy. So Stolas has a good healing factor, but just being able to go do that for Blitz is crazy within 3 days. And now, season 2, episode 5, Unhappy Capper. Ugh. I almost don't even want to talk about it, but I have to. I don't like this episode. I do not like Unhappy Campers because it does what it wants to do perfectly, and that's why I hate it. It is meant to be a kind of play on, like, there's like Disney Channel shows that would be like teenagers or kids at like some campsite. The songs reflect it, the script, everything that is done reflects it, and it's supposed to kind of give Millie that spotlight that she needed, but it doesn't work well. It tried to do what Ghostwreckers did in the future, but it fell on its face. I swear to God, it's not good. As soon as I heard the first song, and then saw the lyrics, like, on the screen, that's what ruined it for me. And Moxie was being a petty dick. Like, the one good thing to come out of this was Barbie Wire. That is it. Barbie Wire being in the episode, being able to see her, cool. But beyond that, shit. It's one that I will, like, the only episode that I will genuinely skip any time that I'm doing a rewatch. Anytime I'm rewatching Helluva Boss, I actually skip that episode. I hate it. Moving on to one I actually like. Oops, I do believe it is called. Yes, Oops. Season 2, episode 6. God, the chills that ran down my spine as soon as I realized that Blitz accidentally killed his mom. Jesus Christ. Yeah, set up since season 1, episode 2. The hatred between Fizz and Blitz, realizing that that whole feud was worthless just because of Cash Boxer cutting them off. Swear, and it made Fizz a lot more likable for me, because I already liked Fizz, but it seemed like he was kind of being a dick. But now knowing that Blitz accidentally blew him up, and now they're reconciled is cool. Striker again. Crimson. Again, they're cool. Them working together is a bad combo. Not a bad combo in terms of, like, they're bad, they don't work well together, but I mean, like, they work really well together, and that's the issue. seeing Striker almost die, very cathartic after season 2, episode 4. I wish he did die, but he didn't. Of course he fucking didn't. Yeah, very good episode. Yeah, moving on. Memon! Memon's magnificent musical episode. I don't remember the full thing, but season 2, episode 7. Great episode. Honestly, Memon really good in for what he is. Fizzy, I'm glad that he got out of that. Oz being great, Blitz great. Genuinely, like, I'm kind of keeping this brief, but great episode. Moving on. Not going straight to Full Moon. The one little thing we got in between, the long wait in between Memon and Full Moon. Just Look My Way, goddamn, still my favorite song, even after All To You. Jesus. Just Look My Way is such an amazing song. Like, props to Paranoid DJ who made the original, but I love it so much. It's great. And again, absolutely ran chills down my spine. It still does. Anytime that I watch the animation. Now moving on to season 2, episode 8. I actually do have some complaints with Full Moon. It was the one that we'd been waiting for, but honestly. So, let's just get the Stolas part of this out of the way. So think about the amount of time that we get to see Stolas in this episode. The opening scene, When I See Him, good song. We don't see him again until the beginning of the final fucking scene. For the entire 20-minute episode, not a single scene of Stolas preparing himself mentally for Blitz's arrival, none of that. The entire middle section is Blitz going around getting things for Stolas and himself, while being pursued by cherubs. Which, that bit's fine. That bit's fine. But you could have had some Stolas in there. Like, and the pacing of it feels very rushed. But beyond that, Dorks and cherubs working together. Once again, another deadly combo. And I had been kind of coping for months before that episode came out. Like, oh, they'll be fine, Blitz and Stolas will be fine. The moment that you see Stolas twiddling his thumbs, sitting on his bed, with that sad, like, slowed down version of his theme in the background, you know it's not going good, and it didn't. A lot of people like to side with whoever Stolas or Blitz on, like, who was right in the argument. I say neither. They were both in the wrong in their own separate ways. Blitz immediately putting up his wall and assuming that Stolas was doing roleplay. Stolas taking that immediately as denial. And Stolas really did kind of spring up the whole I love you thing on Stolas part. I mean, on me and on Blitz, but generally the aftermath of that episode, I don't. Ow. Just ow. Season 2, episode 9. Apology Tour. Great episode. You made me laugh at some points. I was told there'd be cake. I love that scene. You literally get to see the first versions of the Blitz plushie, getting burned at the stake. That's cool. Just seeing the impact that Blitz has had on other people. And having him finally realize, oh shit, I'm a dick. Like, that was very much so needed, and again, Stolas just being even more relatable to me. As well as All To You. Great song. And seeing Stolas that as hammered as he is, like, how it shows how much he actually loves Blitz. And there's one line in All To You that kind of, like, shows that Blitz and Stolas can still get together and it can still work out. And I still do want you. Stolas still wants Blitz. And obviously Blitz still wants Stolas from how angry he got seeing Better Than Blitzo guy kissing Stolas. And genuinely, this is also the episode that made me realize that I didn't really care about Stolas. Because I thought before then that the only ship that I, like, beyond canon ships, like Vizarazi, which is Vizarali and Aussie, and like actual ships that are like canon, like Eminem, stuff like that, I thought that Stolas was the only ship that I would ever really support. Till the end of that episode where I realized, oh shit, I never cared about Stolas and Blitz really getting together. Cause seeing Stolas kissing Better Than Blitzo, dude, it didn't make me sad. It didn't. It was more so seeing Stolas smiling at all. That's all I cared. Like, and honestly, that's what really should have tipped me off to the fact that I relate to him, like, emotionally too. Because the fact that seeing him happy made me happy really just goes to show, like, the fact that, hey, kind of like me back when I really had issues. If I saw myself happy back then, I today would genuinely just be like, good for you. Good job. Keep on doing it. Like, that's how I am, like, with Stolas. I want to see him happy. I don't care how. Stolas was the only thing for a long time that, other than Via, would make him happy. That's why I care for it. Now I know that's not what's needed. Not 100%. It doesn't need to happen. That's what matters. And now we're caught up. Ghost fuckers. Good episode. Blitz being depressed, like, really seeing the impact that the entire thing had on him is good. Felt kind of rushed, but that could just be me. I did debate with some people because a lot of people thought that that hotelier was Leviathan. And I was like, dude, it's a ghost. We were both wrong, but I definitely won that debate because it definitely wasn't fucking Leviathan. It was still a demon. The Blitz managed to have chills run down my spine in his first, like, kind of possession scene, like where he saw all the fucked up millies, and that was good. Also later, as well, the second possession scene as well. Millie being able to see how she first got in the IMP, because we know how Mox did. Mox was found by Blitz at the prison, but just seeing Mills, who was also an assassin, that's cool. That's cool. Good scene. Good episode. Yeah, I just love this show so much, and I cannot wait for the future. And as I kind of promised, I didn't really promise it, but as I kind of said earlier, I'm going to go ahead and just sing You Will Be Okay real quick, and then that will be the end of the Suskies Rants. I'm going to clip this recording later, so it'll be its own standalone video as well. But alright. Stood up. I have low iron, so let's just hope that my head doesn't start to hurt. I'm gonna close my eyes IRL for this. And get out of Stolas' voice. Oh, alright. Again, this is one of the songs that I perform a lot, so. And this is going to be the extended version. There was an extended version made by a person I cannot remember the name of at the time. First charted through a Markiplier AI cover of it. It's great. Sounds good. Adds one little extra section and repeats one section as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and sing this. And then that'll be the end of the episode. It always seems more quiet in the dark. It always feels so stark. How silence grows under the moon. Constellations gone so soon. I used to think that I was bold. I used to think love would be fun. Now all my stories have been told, except for one. As the stars start to align, I hope you take it as a sign that you'll be okay. Everything will be okay. And if the 7 rings collapse, although the day could be my last, you will be okay. When I'm gone, you'll be okay. The day that you arrived, the sun went black. An artificial night. You came and stole away the light and put it in your eyes. How could I possibly suspect that you'd eclipse the midnight sun? I thought that I knew all the moons, but then you pulled me back to one. As the stars start to align, I hope you take it as a sign that you'll be okay. Everything will be okay. And if the 7 rings collapse, although the day could be my last, you will be okay. When I'm gone, you'll be okay. And when creation goes to die, you can find me in the sky upon the lost day. And you will be okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.